Well, Patty, it's time to bring you back out. We're going to turn it back over to you for your special presentation.
Thank you so much, Chris,
All right.
for everything. We're excited to award our 13th annual Watanabe Life Sciences Champion of the Year today. Our awardee is someone many of you know. He has contributed to Indiana's life sciences sector as a scientist and a researcher, a professor, and an entrepreneur, Dr. Pete Kissinger. Before we present his award, let's take a look at what some others have to say about him.
The things I think about when I think of Pete Kissinger, one is he loves to teach. And not with the perspective of he has an opinion he wants to convince you of. He just loves to help you understand a situation or an opportunity. So he starts off, he's a great teacher. Secondly, is clearly a very strong scientist. Gosh, he's published more than 240 papers in scientific literature. So clearly he's a well-respected, well-regarded, and prolific inventor and investigator. But the last thing I would say takes all that together, Pete believes very strongly in the power of good science that is well translated to improve the world. Pete is a capitalist. There's no doubt about that. He'll make that very clear to anyone who you talk to. Pete believes that the private market is the way to transform marketplaces or transform the care of patients in the life sciences or healthcare sector. It's fundamental to how problems get solved.
Talking about innovation and trying to create innovation engines inside their organizations. Purdue is one of the universities that's uniquely been able to not only talk about it, but achieve this outcome. And I think Pete's a great example of an entrepreneur whose interests were fostered inside the incubator, who has been able to work with others to bring them forward and sort of show them the ropes on the road to bringing ideas from benchside to where they can be brought to market and help many people. One of the things that I think Pete's done well as an educator is so many institutions of higher learning basically educate individuals to go on to academic careers. But I think the opportunity for Pete to interact with students and show them that there are academic careers, certainly, but other careers in regulatory and industry that could be valuable to them, allowed them to sort of see that future and begin to realize that future could include them. So Pete's a visionary. I'm very, very happy to see him being recognized with this Watanabe Award.
So there are a couple things that are just core to Pete being Pete. One of them is his absolute love for Purdue. He has had a long and happy home there, and he has benefited the university as much as the university has benefited him. We've always known that his dedication to students and teaching and making sure that people understand the wisdom that is being passed on from generation to generation there, that's been so important to him. But equally important has been his role in making sure that the research he does and the technology that he's developed over the years is actually used, and getting that translated into the businesses he started, whether it's BASI, whether it's Phlebotics now. It has been such a journey and such a pleasure to be able to watch him do what he does so well, and to help so many people along the way. The fact that all of these companies are growing right now and doing so well, it's just tremendous. And it speaks well to what can happen here in Indiana when we work together, when we support each other, and when we make sure that the science comes first to the benefit of patients.
Congratulations on this well-deserved award. I really can't think of anyone more deserving of the Watanabe Award than you. Since we first met in 2001, I've always admired your intellect and your drive to improve the world. So thank you very much for all that you've done, and congratulations on receiving this wonderful award.
Pete, congratulations. You are such a deserving winner of this award. We are so delighted to be able to share this day with you. You have have been just a tremendous inspiration and assistance to everyone in this industry across the state and across the industry around the world even. And we know you have friends in all sorts of places that wish you well on this very special day. Congratulations.
Pete, I wish I could be there with you. Congratulations on this recognition for this award. It's an award honoring a great man, Dr. Watanabe, to a great man, Dr. Pete Kissinger. It's a pleasure to know you and work with you and to see you receive this recognition. Congratulations, Pete.
Dr. Richard DeMarchi is here with me in studio to share a little more about Dr. Kissinger. Richard is actually a former Watanabe Award winner himself and one of Indiana's most prolific life sciences entrepreneurs, founding Marcadia, Calibrium, and MBX, among others. And he was also instrumental in the discovery and development of Humalog, recombinant glucagon, and Forteo. Welcome, Richard.
Hi, Patty. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. IU professor, here to promote my respected and valued colleague at Purdue. Pete is a living legend to those of us in the chemistry community, certainly here in central Indiana. He is a native New Yorker, like myself, that has come to value being here in central Indiana. He's the proverbial triple threat, right? Teaching, research, service. He values his students. Many of you will know a few of those students, people like Ralph Reagan, Dave Miner, Greg Davis, who have independently been so important to central Indiana. His research, well over 200 peer-reviewed publications that have led to the formation and his assistance in the local entrepreneurial domain. Companies like Procilia, companies like Phlebotics, and most importantly BASI, Bioanalytical Systems Incorporated. This was a first mover. I think it was 1974 when he first formed this company in Purdue Research Park in West Lafayette. And it's grown miraculously, most notably in recent years under the name of Innotiv, where they employ well over 300 life scientists, many of them here in Indiana, Evansville, West Lafayette, and most recently here in Indianapolis with the acquisition of InVivo, the old Harlan animal supplier. So it's with great pride and pleasure that I see this award to Pete Kissinger, and I know that my good friend Gus Watanabe would be so proud to see you receive this award.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Pete. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for those kind comments.
All right, we're going to take a quick picture. All right, a few remarks. Go. I'm going to take this with me.
Okay. Thanks very much, Richard and Patty. And this is definitely a great honor. There's so many people I could thank. I think we'll run out of time if I do that. But I wanted to start by thanking one very important person, and that is Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln in 1862 signed the Morrill Land Grant Act. And this act of the U.S. government made Purdue University a very important entity with respect to translational science. And over the last 40 years, we've accelerated this concept dramatically, that academic institutions are not just for learning Latin and Greek and studying the philosophy of law, but they're institutions which can make a difference to society by bringing new ideas out into the commercial and medical world. And I would say that Purdue has been an extremely welcoming place for me and many of my colleagues in this respect. and it's been a lot of fun. I've had several thousand co-workers at Inotiv and other companies we've been involved in starting, and they've all contributed in their different ways. One of the things that's really critical in this area of science is how important all the pieces are. How important is HR, finance, sales, engineering, quality control. Lots of different things come together. Much of what I'm involved in is invisible to all of you. We heard a lot of talks about being patient-centric, paying attention to the issues in the sociology of medicine, the diversity, the hospitals, the homeless, and so forth, right? Behind a lot of this visible challenge, we have basic science, we have drug discovery, we have preclinical research that goes on, and no one really knows anything about this. We have my specific field of bioanalytical chemistry, which provides information on which decisions are based. This information comes from labs in hospital, labs at Eli Lilly, labs at contract research organizations like Inotiv and Covance in the state of Indiana. We have millions of samples, millions of bits of information that get processed in order to decide whether a potential drug is viable as being relatively safe and relatively effective with respect to the threat of disease. This takes a very long time, often decades, before we see it realized in the situation in a hospital. So basically, thanks very much. Gus Watanabe was a great guy. Really, it's an honor to be associated with him and also the previous winners. So thanks a lot, and we'll look forward to enjoying this day of the award. And I really appreciate BioCrossroads recognizing me in this way, and Richard for his thoughts. Thanks very much.
We are so happy to honor you, Pete. Congratulations.